We are live. But I don't think anybody's in my chat. Oh, there are actually lots of people in chat. Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I'm being joined by Buzz Thunder, and we're getting ready to commentate on this race between Xarnax42 and Koolandthegank.
Yes, this is Buzz Thunder. Welcome, everybody, to the Zelda 2 Randomizer Tournament.
Now, if anybody is actually listening out there in chat, can you let us know how our audio levels are doing? Can you hear us all right?
Yes, I know that my personality is going to drown out Dig Shake, but I don't want my volume to do that.
Loud and clear, I'm being told. Everybody says we sound all right, so.
Okay, as long as they're not being sarcastic.
Oh, you're a little bit loud now. Okay, well, I can turn Buzz down a little bit. That's all right. Hopefully that's better. Turn him down just a hair. So the racers are just about ready, it looks like. So we should be starting here momentarily.
Thank you, AA. I appreciate it.
My finger is always hovering over the mute button when Buzz is on stream, so don't you worry about that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful.
Quality options, really? That's interesting. I never have quality options.
Does that mean you need to have, like, a bunch of people watching?
Yeah, once you get above a certain threshold, they give you quality options.
Nice.
Although my chat room's only showing 13 in here so far. All right. Looks like the racers are ready. This race is going to be starting in about 10 seconds once the stream lag catches up. And any second now, we should see. Oh, Xarnax realizing he forgot to put a name in. Alright, the racers are off.
Alright, I have a little bit of a time difference between the two, but nothing major.
Some weird graphical glitchiness on Xarnax stream. I'm not sure what that was about. I know his Nintendo is his NES is it's seen some better days, I guess.
Okay, and we have our first item here, Xarnax finding a trophy cave. What do we have inside? Magic container.
Oh, you're a bit ahead of me already, Buzz. Let me see if I can refresh the stream real quick. Fix that.
Alright, I'll tell you, I'm just about to hit a minute for Xarnax. I'm at a minute right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Let me refresh Koolandthegank while I'm at it. Alright. I think we're good.
Okay, our racer's just beginning to explore the overworld. That's the first thing that you'll notice here with those of you who are not entirely familiar with Zelda 2 randomizers, that our older overworld is scrambled. all of our items are still going to be in the same type of caves, but the items are going to be different. So you see right now the grass spot. Koolandthegank just found a pea bag at the grass spot. Now, in these tournament flags, you do start out with the candle, and that is substituted for that pea bag. So that would have been the candle, but since our racers already have it, he gets a pea bag instead.
Kool-Aid, the item in Trophy Cave was a magic container, so you can see that Xarnax does have 5 magic containers. Sorry, I refreshed the stream at a weird time. Xarnax already doing battle with the red Dyra?
Yep, good place to farm and get some experience early on in the run, because that's one of the higher XP allotments. Depending on the randomizer, that's scrambled as well. Oh, he takes a death.
We got Shield Town on Koolandthegank's side, so he'll pick up his first spell of the match. I wonder why Xarnax not trying the corner strats.
Yeah, he just needs to jump over him and pin him down. It's actually a really good screen for fighting this guy here.
And so here's our first spell. We have Jump on Koolandthegank's side. That'll be useful for him.
Yep, Jump's a great spell to get early, especially if you find Mido, because then you can get yourself a down stab. Which makes everything simpler.
Alright. Both players in just about the same spot, looking for caves. On the western continent here, there are 5 items that you can find, so 4 of them are in caves and 1 of them is in the grass spot. We've already seen 1 of the caves and the grass spot, so just looking for a few more caves here. Some items. I think a good move on Koolandthegank's side to go through this cave. It looked like he'd already explored most of what he could see. And he finds a palace on the other side. Maybe Palace 2?
And there we have Xarnax finding that P bag and utilizing it, bringing him up to attack level 3.
Yeah, that early 500 bag is a really nice find.
Yes, P bag's always
Usually-
disappointing because I always find it late, and it's 500's not worth much later in the run. But when you're 4 minutes in, it's great.
Koolandthegank finding Lifetown, but unfortunately for him, it's the wrong side of Lifetown.
Yes, he does not know Bagu, so he cannot get to the other side.
Koolandthegank does find Mido. So we're going to have a really early down stab here, which is runners always like a good early down stab.
It looks like we have Xarnax. Looks like he was going to try to venture into Jump Cave, but I don't think he has the jump spell.
No, I don't think he got it yet.
No.
Although he was close to that town, I thought. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, and then he turns around and comes back out. So now we'll get jump spell, and maybe he'll go back in. All right. Koolandthegank getting down stab.
The worst part about getting down stab is that it's right smack in the middle of that town, and you have to walk all the way out. Xarnax has some really interesting graphical glitches going on his stream. I hope his NES is not gonna get too crazy.
Yeah, freeze and having to start over would be detrimental. Oh, that's it. Just popped
that's
him to
really
the left side of the screen there. Oh yeah, his game is broken.
What is going on?
Wow.
What is going on with Xarnax's stream?
He chooses to up A there, and yep, it seems like his game is completely destroyed.
If I were him, I don't know, take it out and blow on the cartridge a little bit.
Okay,
Or...
I don't know if that was a reset or what he did there, but now it seems, nah, it's still acting weird. Now none of his caves are activating.
Yeah, this is not good for Xarnax. I'm not sure what he's playing on, if he's on a flash cart or what his deal is. I think he is on a flash cart. Looks like he is trying to reset. Did he save? I hope he saved.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You see him restarting.
No save. Looks like he's gonna have to start from scratch. Wow. So that's automatically a 7.5 minute head start for Koolandthegank. I mean, he does know where things are, but that's brutal.
Well, he just put in chat that he blames his NES. That's kind of what I suspected was happening. He's had those issues in the past. He does have the information, so that is useful. He'll be able to get back where he was very quickly because he won't have to re-explore everything.
Yes. And we have our first palace right here, Koolandthegank entering Palace 1.
I hope I didn't miss anything important on his side while I was trying to figure out what's up with Xarnax.
No, I think just a little exploration. I don't think he picked up any items, but again, I was distracted by the the magic of an NES console glitching. Oh, he found the opposite side of Jump Cave.
If it weren't a race, those glitches would be kind of funny, but
right, yeah.
Not an opportunity. Not a good time. Now, does Koolandthegank have a key? Because he's in the item room.
I don't think he has a key.
Didn't see him picking one up.
No, because he just peeked into that first room and then came in here. So.
If I were Xarnax, I'd be making a beeline for that 500p bag again.
And Cool decides to abandon Palace 1.
Interesting decision. He might have been key blocked. I wasn't paying super close attention.
The elevator going down led to the screen with the break blocks above you, all the bubbles.
Oh, okay.
So he could have gone left there.
And wow, a massive swamp.
Yeah, in the north we have all desert in the northwest, giant deserts, and now we have a giant swamp.
That is just a massive swamp. He does find another item cave.
Yes, this is the cave that normally in vanilla Zelda 2 will have your heart container.
In this case, we find a trophy. My favorite terrain type, swamp or graveyard. Well, I may or may not be on the payroll of the swamp lobby. I cannot confirm or deny that there is a swamp lobby or that I'm being paid by a swamp lobby. But swamps are my favorite terrain.
Well, there you go. Koolandthegank finding the trophy immediately finds Rudo, so he can cash in that trophy and get himself a spell.
Yep, very convenient.
Yeah.
And there's that P-bag on Xarnax's side. We've got a shield spell for Koolandthegank. Some more caves tucked away down here that I'm sure he'll check out.
Yeah, it seems like everything's open and available on this west coast so far. I don't think we've seen Death Mountain yet, and I haven't seen any caves that are blocked by rock. Oh, here we go, Magic Container Cave. Which will most likely contain something
Oh,
different.
wow.
And it is the glove, a huge item to find early.
Yeah, just an excellent item. Koolandthegank off to a fantastic start. Xarnax certainly not out of it yet. We've seen players definitely struggle with this game in later parts, but he does have some work to do to catch up.
Yep, unfortunate NES glitch puts him at a large disadvantage, but he always has a chance to come back.
Xarnax finding Mido now, so he'll go ahead and pick up Downstab.
There we go.
And here's Death Mountain. Let's see what he decides to do. Looks like he's leaving. And then he turns around and goes right back in.
Yeah, unfortunately that entrance to Death Mountain only had one other cave to look at. So if you don't see the obvious item cave in there, you probably don't want to go diving through. I always choose to avoid Death Mountain early.
And here's the correct side of Lifetown for Koolandthegank. Looks like I'm cutting off the bottom of his stream a little bit. Let me see if I can fix that real quick.
And Koolandthegank searches, and it's like he knew that mirror was there under the table somehow. But he's gonna go and return it to that lady anyways.
So we get our third spell for Koolandthegank. Oh, and it's everybody's favorite spell, the fire spell.
The fire spell, which I consider to be useless. It's not entirely useless. The invulnerable enemies are randomized in this, but they are only vulnerable to fire, so you can use it for them. I tend to just skip those enemies altogether, though.
I have more Death Mountain for Koolandthegank, but again, deciding really not to mess with it.
Only one single cave on both sides. That's kind of rare.
Now he's only got, I think, one more item cave to find. It would be Medicine Cave if I am tracking correctly.
Yes, Medicine Cave is the only one that we have not seen yet in the Western continent.
If he doesn't find either a key or perhaps the medicine in Medicine Cave, then he will have no other option but to dig into Death Mountain. That's assuming that he can find Medicine Cave and it's not blocked by a boulder or something.
Correct. We see Xarnax trying to even the score a little bit, getting his own fire spell. And for some reason, Xarnax is going left. I didn't see him find... Oh, he's going to get a magic fill.
Yeah, he's going to get a refill. You could find the raft in the last cave, yep. I haven't seen many other caves for him to check. Deciding to up A. Wonder where he's going to be going next. I'm not even sure where he's planning to head next. And we see Xarnax in Death Mountain. He's just going to go right in.
Wow. Interesting strategy to go in there right away.
Well, I guess Koolandthegank never got this magic container, so he's going to pick that up.
Ah, okay. Well, there's a...
Xarnax did find the boulder, yeah.
Yes. Two spots in Death Mountain that have an item. One of them is the boulder. You do need a hammer to access it. The other one will be in one of the open caves.
I wonder if this is a strategic move on Xarnax's part, if he knows that he lost time due to the nest glitching out and figures that if he finds a big item in Death Mountain, it might even the score.
Yeah, that's not a bad risky strategy, knowing that he needs to make up some time. But again, in Death Mountain like that, especially when you only have one other cave entrance, you know, on both overworld entrances to Death Mountain, it's gonna be a lot harder to find it. But you can get lucky. It happens. But I believe there are something like 39 caves in Death Mountain.
Oh, I just saw Xarnax's stream doing a little glitch up again.
Uh-oh.
It's been doing pretty well since he restarted, but... Koolandthegank really trying to find this cave. I don't know where it might be. I did see one cave that looked like it was kind of blocked by some mountains down on the southern part. But I'm not sure that I've seen any other caves that are accessible right now.
Yeah, for what he has and only having one more open item, especially knowing that you can get through Palace 1, I would dig in there right now. He's also at a good level with 333. Shouldn't have any trouble at all with Palace 1.
Assuming he's not key blocked, but we have not seen for a fact that he is yet.
It's like he got a little bit turned around going into Trophy Cave again.
Xarnax still not finding the cave he's looking for in Death Mountain. He has explored a big chunk of it, though. There can't be many left for him to find. And this is just a nasty screen that Koolandthegank is on right now. With the trollfish and the birds.
Yep, that's one of the more difficult screens where you just have all that coming through. So easy to get knocked back into one of those pits.
And it looks like he is heading back in. Well, no, never mind. Decided against it. Thought he might go into one.
I'm not entirely sure what he's looking for.
He's got to be looking for that last item cave. I just don't know that he's going to be able to find it.
Putting a lot of worth into that last item, I would say.
Now, it should be noted that due to the randomized overworld, you're actually not guaranteed to be able to access every location in the game. So there is a possibility, however small, that that last item cave is flat out not acceptable. accessible. And if that's true, it contains something inconsequential like a heart container. I'm not saying that is what's happening right now, just that it's a possibility. And I think he's going to go into one for good this time. Yeah, he definitely is. This is the smart move, I think. Outside of Death Mountain, this is the next... Or actually, I'd probably do this before Death Mountain. See if he can get a key, because the item's sitting right there by the entrance, so...
Yeah.
Yes, Sam.
Especially.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, all that time that he was looking in the overworld trying to get that one more item, he already knew where the item spot was in Palace 1, knows it's right there, and most likely you're going to be able to get a key and get in there.
Yeah. Yeah, the chances of being key blocked in 1 are pretty small, actually. Definitely possible, but... Look at this, he finds Horsehead. No keys, but he does find the boss.
He can take Horsehead's key from him and use it for the item.
That is possible, Ampharos, yes. That is possible. You're guaranteed to get every non-heart container item. Basically, if something is blocked, it's almost... I think it's like 99% chance it's going to be a heart container, and a very small chance that it might be a magic container.
So that would be like one of those sections that's generated that's just alone in the mountains, but that
Yep.
cave could not have another side to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, we have Xarnax finding Bagu, but disrespecting him, not even going in there and talking to him.
I was not aware that he had left Death Mountain, so he apparently gave up on his search.
Yep, I did not see him getting the item.
Interesting. So that is a lot of time that he spent in there. Koolandthegank getting his key. I wonder what he's going to do now. He could, well, I guess he might grind some experience before placing that gem. But really, he's got everything that he needs in this palace. Oh, Xarnax died. I missed that game over. Feels Bagu Man indeed.
Ah, there we go, Spiffy. It feels Bagu Man.
Looks like he's going to try and take out this Mago for some experience.
Oh, jeez.
Oof, Xarnax also struggling with that nasty screen with the fish and the birds. Casting the jump spell, I think that's actually a great idea.
Yep, it pays off. That's always a good precaution to distance yourself from the pits as much as possible. Cast that jump spell and just try to fly over them. That way, if you get knocked back, you got a chance to recover and go over to the side, not falling in. Yeah, a lot of time farming here.
I think he's fighting 2 Magos, actually.
Yep. And with attack 3, I mean, who knows what their hit points could be. This might take a long time.
Well, they do a lot of damage too.
Yeah, I will normally ignore these guys just because they're only accessible to hit for such a short period of time. Like if you can get 2 hits on them, oh, there you go, 300. If you could kill them quicker, that would be a great place to farm. But
it's not quite enough to get him the experience level that he wants. Looks like he might try to get this second one too while he's here. Nope. Could just kill a few of these fish heads if he wanted to, or he might be going back for the item as well.
Ouch. Now with all that experience out of his last life, you gotta be careful.
Yep. Oh, those fish heads only worth 2 apiece, but he doesn't need that much more.
Yeah, you can kill 5 more.
And you actually can stab them through the floor like that. I don't know if he knows that or not. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, so he'll be in good shape. All right. This will be our first palace completed for these 2 racers. Koolandthegank is red because he's got a random tunic color turned on.
And so that's one of the features of your randomizer. When you do generate your seed, you can select a box that says randomize your tunic color, and that's what you're gonna. You kind of get what you get, but it gives you a fun new look at it every time you play.
It's more of a purplish than a red, isn't it? Or I don't know. It's a little hard for me to tell.
Yeah, from my point of view, it's kind of a bright red.
We're about to find out what this item is. Oh, it's the raft. Just a fantastic find for Koolandthegank.
Yes, we have a raft. That is one of your absolutely required items to beat the game. 100% required 100% of the time. The other requirements are going to be Reflect Spell to defeat Palace 4 and Thunder Spell to defeat Thunderbird.
Xarnax finding the glove, so he's got to be happy about that. He did find the trophy as well, but I forgot to mark it, sorry. And item and spell-wise, these runners are not too far off. The raft is really the only major difference right now. Palace 1, basically, is the only major difference between these runners at the moment.
Yeah, not a ton of time needed in Palace 1 too, especially with Horsehead being so close to start and the raft being in the first adjacent room.
He could consider going into Palace 2 at this point. He does have the glove. Might be another useful item in there. Not sure what his next move is going to be. Oh, look at this. Xarnax does find Medicine Cave. I didn't see where it was, but he found the final item cave that Koolandthegank was looking for, so...
Gank Decide doesn't want to go into Palace 2 and is going to head over to the East Continent.
Xarnax not even bothering to kill these enemies, just... Oh, wow, look at that.
Always a good item to find is your key.
Yeah, so that is a nice advantage for Xarnax to have.
Yep, you got your glove and your key, so that basically means just have at those palaces on the West Continent.
Yep.
There's nothing stopping you.
And downstab, he's good to go. He can clear all 3 of them.
That's right. Koolandthegank finding Darunia. He does not have the kid, but he can get upstab.
That magic key was a big difference maker. I think that puts Xarnax right back in this.
Yep, I think so. If Koolandthegank runs into any sort of key trouble, that's gonna close our gap here.
Xarnax choosing not to mess around with this screen at all, casting jump right away. It's a great idea, actually. It's a great strategy for that screen. Meanwhile, we're going to see Koolandthegank pick up a lot of very nice P bags over here. The magic key does work for the boss door. The boss door is actually no different than any other key door in this game. Xarnax struggling with everybody's favorite enemy, the blue iron knuckle.
I have Koolandthegank finding the location of Palace number 5.
Xarnax really wanting to kill this thing instead of just getting around it. Looks like we have, is that Firetown over there on Koolandthegank's side?
Yes.
Or Naburu, the official name.
And he is going to give that lazy lady some water.
All right. And we have the fairy spell on Koolandthegank's side. Great spell for him to find.
Especially since he has not found the key, that's going to help him bypass any keys that he doesn't have.
Meanwhile, Xarnax picking up that raft out of Palace 1. No need to apologize for asking questions, Weasel. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and so is Buzz.
Yes, not a problem at all. So how many palaces are placed? Certain number on each side. That is consistent with the flags that we are using right now. So you're going to have palaces 1, 2, and 3 on the western continent. On the eastern continent, on the mainland, you're going to have 5 and 6, and then on Maze Island, you will have Palace 4. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say 7 is also on the mainland of the East Continent. Well, Xarnax, having that key, was able to grab the item right away and is... Looks like he'll be
using
able
some
to...
fancy downstab strats on Horsehead. You do not see that happen.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit dangerous to me, but it definitely is
He did
fast.
cast shield ahead of time,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Oh, and there we go. The desert spot on the East Continent, one of the locations that has an item out in the open, is a magic container just acquired by Koolandthegank. Just north of that was the water spot, the water tile, which is also another free item in the Eastern Continent. However, you do need the boots to access it. You can't walk onto it without the boots.
taking advantage of that poor Lizalfos being stuck in the ground. Not a bad move at all.
Yeah, and 300. This is a good spot to hang out and level up a little bit if you want to.
Taking, I think that was attack 5, so that's great for him to have.
Yeah, really, with 300 per go there, he could get it up to attack 6, and it would only take him about a minute or two.
Uh-oh. I have lost Koolandthegank's stream. Let me see if I can get it back here. Or is it still working for you, Buzz?
Yep.
Okay, I got it back. It's just a momentary hiccup. Sorry about that. So these runners definitely a lot closer than they were a little bit ago. And we see Xarnax heading into either 2 or 3. I think that's 2, actually.
That is Palace 2. You can tell by the pillars. A tip that was just discovered by Raikou.
I might have to change that. Move those pillars around as well.
And then if you can move the drops that the statue does, you'll be completely lost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, at least until you get into the first few rooms.
I saw that kobold drop from the ceiling there. I don't think I've seen that before.
I missed that.
I don't know if it's actually called a kobold. I just think it has a different.
Oh, there's usually a Stalfos in that spot, so that's why he fell from the ceiling. A nasty screen that Xarnax has found there. A couple of Iron Knuckles and that Doom Rattler.
But he attacked it in about the perfect way there to take out those Iron Knuckles, and then can deal with. What did you say it was called?
Doom Rattler. I don't think that's the official name, but it's the little cousin of the Doom Knockers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for anybody out there who is interested in trying out the randomizer, my number one piece of advice is to work on your combat skills, because a room like that can certainly slow you down quite a bit if you don't know what you're doing. Xarnax did a great job of taking out those enemies.
Yeah, being able to separate all those, I don't know, hammers or fireballs that were getting thrown at him, and then stacking those 2 Iron Knuckles on top of each other.
Scorpion mad that I didn't call out his cave, but I don't think there was a scorpion in it, was there? It's not really your cave if there's not a scorpion in it. Koolandthegank taking an unfortunate game over there. I wonder what his next move is going to be. He could go to Palace 2, especially now that he's got a fairy spell to get him through the key doors. Even Palace 3 would be an alright option for him at this point.
Yeah, for me, if you have the glove, just go into those palaces on the West Continent, because you just can get them out of the way.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Even if you don't have a lot of keys, I think it's still a pretty worthwhile risk on these settings to give it a try.
Yeah, it's not terrible if something is out of your way. You know, usually you can find a key just because the extra keys are on there. So that's another setting on this tournament flags, is that all your P bags that you would normally find in a palace will be a key instead, to give you a little bit of extra leeway when it comes to locked doors.
Thanks for the compliment on the layout, Shiner. If you like this layout, you should go over to Adaginos' stream and give that man a follow. He's the guy who spent many hours putting this wonderful layout together. Big shoutouts to Adaginos.
Looks like Xarnax is... Oh, he wanted to refill his life there. That's what he was doing. I thought he was going for magic.
Yeah. Oh, and he could have Jesus.
Yeah, that's great right there. Spent all that time refilling your life, and then he just jumps right over his head and gets a life refill anyways.
So I think we see Koolandthegank also heading into 2. Xarnax does seem to have some sort of personal vendetta against these blue Iron Knuckles. He's stopped to kill a few of them. Yeah, they are worth 300 points.
Yes, not a terrible idea with the 300 points there, but yeah, I don't think it's worth. Yes, not terribly worth the risk. That's right, God awful. Randomizers are not short on irony.
Oh, nice move there by Koolandthegank to grab the key and ferry out of there before he fell in the lava. I think we'll see him grab this key down here and probably take an up A. This is Palace 2, Ryan. I think he was going to try to ferry past the blue iron knuckle and then realized he wouldn't be able to pick up the key if he did that.
Well, then, Xarnax finding Helmet Head. Gonna be done with Palace 2.
Yeah.
If he can survive. Because Helmet Head is not taking any damage.
Yeah, Helmet Head is got a lot of HP. Well, Xarnax is only attack 3 as well, so...
Yeah, now he's on his last hit. This would be a very impressive comeback kill. Unfortunately, it does not work. And that's a game over, too. Wow.
Oh. Really unfortunate for Xarnax. Hopefully he remembers how to get back there. It didn't seem like it was too difficult. Shoutouts to Howie Mandel for killing our boy Xarnax. Or Voldemort, I think. That's what the kids are calling him these days.
I don't understand the Howie Mandel references.
Because he's very bald. and he wants you to pick a suitcase and make a deal.
So Helmet Head is Howie Mandel?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Do they still make that show, Deal or No Deal? I guess it's not on anymore.
I hope not.
That just dated me. That just showed you how old I am.
In my opinion, that was the worst game show ever made. All I did was pick numbers.
Yep. But hey, I'd take some free money.
I just like challenge and strategy when it comes to game shows, and that was devoid of that.
There was some strategy. I mean, you had to choose when to stop and when to keep going. Stay tuned for after the Zelda 2 randomizer race when Buzz and I play Deal or No Deal here on stream.
There you go. And now a purposeful death from Xarnax there. Knowing the amount of hits that it's going to take.
Now he's trying to get the downstab strategies going, like he was doing with Horsehead. I think he's going to get him this time. Yeah, he's definitely going to get him this time.
Yeah, that was a very difficult Helmet Head. That was about 17 hits, it looked like.
He definitely was on the upper end of the HP spectrum. So Xarnax taking the lead with the palaces. I don't even know who to say is in the overall lead right now. It's pretty close.
Oh, Xarnax taking Magic 5, staying at attack 3. Wow. That's not the way I level up, but to each his own.
I wonder if he figures that he's going to get a lot of experience from P-bags and other stuff when he goes to the other continent, which it looks like he might be heading that way right now.
So even with the delay on Xarnax, I think that key grab and him getting through these palaces so quickly is gonna almost seems like he's taking the lead right now.
Yeah. It's hard to say. It's always hard to say in the middle of a race who's winning, but he's definitely made up a lot of ground that he lost from the reset that he had to do.
Yes, even if not taking the lead, we seem pretty close to even here. So
his levels are a concern.
Yeah, that low attack is dangerous. And trying this jump,
The super jump not working out for him. You don't see this strat actually as much anymore since we discovered Fairy Claws a few weeks back. Xarnax finally
gives up,
saying
yeah.
screw it.
So I don't even know how you do that one. Does it have to be like frame perfect where you jump?
You have to jump on an exact pixel. It's right about at the edge of that little overpass there.
Yeah.
You know, it usually takes most people at least a few tries to get it. Xarnax is probably a little rusty on that particular trick. What is Fairy Claws? Fairy Claws is a trick that allows you to use the fairy spell to go down the chimney. So it's claws as in Santa Claus, not as in, you know, the things on a dog's paw. So Xarnax now is going to find a lot of P-Bags. We saw Koolandthegank picking up all these P-Bags earlier in the race. Xarnax is going to benefit from them now. Hopefully he uses them to take some attack levels.
So yeah, that might have been his strategy. Knowing he's going into the Eastern Continent, going to find a bunch of those 500 P-Bags that he could catch up his attack.
And Helmet Head is down for Koolandthegank with attack 5, not nearly as much of a struggle.
Yep, shows you right there why taking attack levels is very important.
Just 10 points shy of what he needs for the gem. And he'll be up to attack 6 now.
Yeah, Raikou, I mean, I guess it would be a similar glitch. You do need to have your feet on the ground when you cast Fairy and Mido to be able to get into the castle. That's why pressing down makes you go through the chimney when you cast it in Darunia. So kind of similar.
Look at this. Koolandthegank finding Medicine Cave, so he's going to be very happy at what he finds down at the end of this cave here. The advantage that Xarnax got from the magic key is about to evaporate. Oh, but taking a game over right before the key.
Wow.
That is really unfortunate. I bet he will go back, though, because he was really wanting to find that cave earlier. Oh, Xarnax got the fairy spell. Thank you, chat, for reminding me while I was watching Koolandthegank stream. And we see Koolandthegank using fairy feet there to get across the bridge. Interesting. Now, unfortunately, he went to the middle of the bridge, so using fairy feet in the middle of the bridge, not having the desired effect. Why am I on Super Metroid music? That's not what I want. Let's go back to.
All right, we have Xarnax in New Kasuto, which is a very nice town to find, especially if you have enough magic containers, which was only 5 was the requirement here. It can be 6 or 7 for the requirement of magic containers to get that, but he gets the hammer.
Sorry, give me 1 second here to. I'm just trying to pull up some music, and then I will update the items on stream. Xarnax. Finding the hammer doesn't seem like that'll be a super useful item in this game.
No, I don't think.
There was the rock.
Yeah, I don't think we did find the rock spot in Death Mountain, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be anything that you really need it. Well, we haven't seen our thunder spell yet, so it could be the child. It could be the medicine, the water of life. So there's still is a potential that you do need that.
That's true. Let me see if there's any. Oh, that is not game audio. Sorry about that. Koolandthegank listening to some smooth jazz over there. It sounds like you missed out on that one, Buzz.
Yeah, I see his audio stream up there. I was kind of wondering what he was jamming.
Yeah, he's jamming out to some smooth jazz.
And another try at Medicine Cave from Koolandthegank here. Hopefully with better results.
Yeah, not even bothering with the enemies this time, just casting the fairy spell. Not a bad strategy on his part.
Yeah, he might want to cast the fairy spell again, really. It looks like he can afford it.
Taking a death. This is his last life, so yeah, he might want to just cast that fairy spell.
Yeah, it almost seems like he wants the experience here.
And grabbing that magic key. Alright, so these runners are very close to each other. Where do you think we're going to see Koolandthegank go next? Palace 3, perhaps?
Yeah, I'd hope so. That's where I would go. But from watching him, I really have no idea. He hasn't really agreed with any of my normal strategies or paths throughout this game.
Xarnax finding Thundertown. Oh, Xarnax grabbed the life spell in New Kasuto. Thank you. All this exciting stuff happens while
and there is Thunder. Thunder in Kasuto.
So Xarnax just missing one more required spell.
Yes, we still need that reflect, so hammer might come in handy.
Yeah, is he trying to think of what spells are left? He's guaranteed to need either the child or the medicine at this point, correct? He'll need at least one of those.
That's right, yes, one of the two. Yes, because we had life in New Kasuto.
So Koolandthegank does in fact head to Palace 3. Xarnax, meanwhile, makes a trip into Maze Island. So there are two items hidden somewhere on Maze Island. That's why we see Xarnax trying to explore this maze as much as possible.
Yeah, so when I get to the eastern continent, that's where I want to go immediately, just because you have two of the items sitting right out in the open.
Yeah, it usually does not take a ton of time to get through there. Those encounters can be a little annoying, but they usually aren't too bad. We see Koolandthegank struggling with these Doom Knockers over here. Not very popular enemies. How many lives does Xarnax have remaining? Do you know? Is he at full
I just
lives?
saw a pause there for a second. I missed it though.
Well, we're about to find out.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's got lots of
Yeah,
lives.
plenty.
Koolandthegank, not worried about those keys at all. Finding the magic keys saves so much time for not having to hunt down those keys. And of course, also allowing you to use your magic for other things besides casting fairy.
Yeah, that can always be detrimental. If you're down on 0 keys and your fairy spell's expensive, you can only cast it once, and then basically you have to either kill yourself or find a red jar if you want to cast it again. So running the locked doors can really eat up your lives very, very quickly.
What room was that he was just in?
I believe that was the
a...
item, and he turned around and ran right away.
Deciding he doesn't want it. Interesting. I wonder if this is his last life and he's worried about game overing, or...
Possibly. Ouch. Looks like he's gonna... No, he had one.
I mean, if that was something like the boots, I would want it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're in the room, I don't see any reason to not get an item regardless of what it is.
Yeah,
same thing. That,
agree.
The comment we just saw here in chat from Jeebus. Yeah, if you're close to an item, you want to grab it. I mean, even if it's lacrosse.
The only time I might skip an item is at the very, very, very end if I already know I've got everything that I need. Other than that, I'm picking it up. Xarnax finding the kid. It's a great item for him to find, so be able to grab another spell out of Darunia, which could be the reflect spell that he needs. Koolandthegank finishing up Palace 3. And he'll be up to attack 7, so doing really well in the attack department. And the boots for Xarnax. That is a very fruitful maze island for Xarnax. So if I'm Xarnax, I'm probably going to turn in that kid to see if I can find the reflect spell, and then I might turn right back around and head into Palace 4, if it is there.
Yep, that's a great strategy. Try to get all those requirements early as you can and go for it.
People yelling at me about the non-random kid item in the palace. Yeah, it's just the luck of the draw sometimes.
I guess you could make settings so that it has to be random, but then it wouldn't. Then you would know where it possibly wouldn't be. So.
Yep, you don't want to rule out any options if you don't have to. There are some options that are ruled out due to technical limitations, game-breaking limitations, but for the most part, you can find just about anything anywhere. Koolandthegank, I think he's done with this continent, unless he wants to... Oh, look at that palace. So boots definitely required, because you can see that must be Palace 6 hanging out up there. on a little nook all by itself.
Yep, no cave entrance to it, so you do need to walk across the water to access that spot.
So about an hour in, and this race is pretty close, I would say. Koolandthegank 1 gem up, but Xarnax with the item and spell advantage right now. I might put him in the lead, actually, even though he is 1 gem down.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially...
I would agree with that assessment.
Especially if this is Reflect, which it is. He has found the Reflect spell.
Okay.
So at this point, he's good, right?
Yep, he is good to go. He has Thunder, he has Reflect, he has the Glove, and obviously has the Raft, so nothing in his way.
Yep, he's just got to clear these palaces. Is he going to dive into 6? Looks that way. The only thing that makes me nervous about that is he's only got attack 4. Which won't be so bad except for Barba, who's just going to take a very long time to kill with only attack 4.
Yes, Xarnax, I believe, does have the lead on paper, but the attack difficulties, you know, taking more damage from not being able to kill enemies as quickly in the palace may even the score.
I don't think Koolandthegank's that far behind, especially if he makes his way over to Maze Island and picks up those items that Xarnax found. Now, did Xarnax have to go through a cave to get to Maze Island, or was he able to just kind of walk up?
Yeah.
Wasn't quite sure.
There is no cave over there. Oh wait, sorry, Maze Island. Sorry. I'm not
sure. Yeah. We're gonna see Koolandthegank head into Palace 5 here, perhaps. Nope. Not yet. Yeah, I agree. I think going into 5, I mean, what has he really got to lose at this point? He's got the magic key. His leveling's pretty good, so he might as well just go get it knocked out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go in there anyways, and I don't really think he's gonna be slowed down or hindered by anything, especially with attack 7 there.
I think he might just be a little lost right now, trying to find Maze Island, trying to find the other towns, perhaps.
Yeah, he might be interested in spells. Because last time I saw him pause, he only had 4 spells.
Yeah, he's definitely behind on the spell game.
Well, yeah, we see Xarnax defeat another blue Iron Knuckle, so definitely a personal vendetta out against them.
Alright, I think Koolandthegank has found the cave that he needs to get up to the Maze Island area. Let's just hope he doesn't game over before he gets there.
Yes, Double A, Xarnax is in 6 right now.
Finding Thundertown, probably not the town he wanted to see. Not sure why he cast berry there, but that's an unfortunate game over for him.
Yeah, I would guess he probably thought he had shield selected. Or
Yeah.
Jump. Yeah, not a great time to gain over. It's a bit of a walk to go back there.
Yeah, but at least he knows the route now, so he doesn't have to mess around. Oh, that Doom Knocker just not cooperating with Xarnax. You can see the attack 4 is not doing him any favors.
Nope. That's where it's gonna kind of start. Wow, that was pretty cool right there.
Nice jackhammer, yeah.
But yeah, your Doom Knoxer's Dig Shake, definitely. That's my least favorite of all the enemies in Zelda 2 by far.
I don't like them either. They are a real pain. I hate that the projectiles boomerang back on you.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting better at predicting that, but it's just so easy to get.
Even after you kill them, you can still get hit by those things coming back at you. It's really annoying.
They always give me trouble. And we do see a black and white or a silver Doom Knocker there. Dig Shake, why do we have the black and white enemies on this screen here?
If you notice, it actually happens in this screen in every palace. If you have something that's normally blue, it'll show up as gray for black and white, I guess. And that's because the blue color is not on the palette for that screen. There's only a limited number of colors they can have on a palette per screen. And that screen, for whatever reason, they decided to take blue out. So if you notice in the vanilla game on those screens, they will never put those blue Stalpos in there. They'll never put bots in there or blue Iron Knuckles in those rooms because they won't show up properly.
That's interesting. I mean, I always liked it, but I just never thought to ask about why. Because I think it looks really cool. I like the black and white look.
I think the colors are maybe taken up because of the there's sometimes falling blocks in that room, so I think the blocks might occupy some of the palette slots that might otherwise go to that blue color. But hard to say for sure. And so Koolandthegank finding Nukasudo. Gonna pick up that hammer.
The worthless hammer.
Yeah, it seems unlikely that hammer... Well, we know for a fact, actually, that hammer is not gonna give anything of use.
Yeah, most likely it's... I would guess it's medicine.
Yeah, and the medicine has to be blocking the spell.
Yep.
Which we also know we don't need.
Yeah, but here we see more troubles with only attack 4 or Xarnax.
Yeah, well, unfortunately he couldn't find his the place to line up for the quick kill because of the tile set. I have this problem with this tile set myself. If you use the background to line up instead of the floor, it can make things a little easier. I believe that was the life spell that Koolandthegank just got.
Yep, it is life. Speaking of life, that's the strategy I use for Ragnarok. I can line up by that, so I don't even look at the floor. I always look at where Link is in relation to the life level up at the top of the screen.
And here we see Xarnax getting the proper positioning for him to take him out in the corner. So we're about to see what this is. Magic container. Yeah, at this point I'm not surprised. That's really about all that's left item-wise is magic containers and heart containers for these players. There's a cross and a fairy flute out there somewhere. Nobody wants those things at this point, though.
Yep, also the medicine for spell, so...
And Koolandthegank returning to Thunder Town, where he game overed. Casting shield this time. Accidentally reading the mailbox. I think
wow.
He just barely made it in the door.
That's impressive. I didn't know that was possible. I know that if you get knocked off the screen with your health exhausted, that it does not kill you and you survive. I did not realize that you could go into a door.
Yeah, he must have caught it on just the right frame, I guess.
Very impressive.
And now making his way to Maze Island, so he'll be happy about the items that he finds over here.
Well, that was a falling loop. I haven't seen that yet in Randomizer.
Yeah, it can happen. It doesn't happen very often, but certainly can happen.
That would be a fun way to soft lock the game if you were just didn't have enough magic to cast fairy or didn't have that spell, and you would just be falling perpetually.
That exact situation actually has happened to me. I had to up A due to that. You can get in that little fairy hallway without using fairy, but it is very, very difficult.
So do you need full momentum?
Yeah, you basically have to line it up so that you can get in there at full speed as you're falling.
Yeah, that's got to take a lot of practice.
I think I've only ever seen it pulled off maybe once. Koolandthegank trying to take advantage of the fairy feat here. Misses it twice. Is just gonna have to walk through like a normal human being. So Xarnax, I've been watching him pretty closely, and he has explored a very large chunk of this palace. He's got to be...
Why is he ferrying up there? He must think that there's an extra life up there.
Yeah, but there isn't. There is not.
I know I'm guilty of doing the same thing, but I learned from my mistake after the first time I did that.
Alright, here's the first item for Koolandthegank on Maze Island. I believe this is the kid, if I remember. No, it's the boots. He'll be happy to find that. And here's the second item. Oh no, that's the same one.
And Xarnax getting a little bit of help in the attack column, going up to attack 5.
He needs it at this point, so good thing for him.
And he cast fairy there. That is...
There is a key on this screen, but...
Yeah, I'm a couple of needless fairy casts from Xarnax there.
Now he's already been on the screen. I think he might be a little lost. I don't know if he's been across that lava pit or not.
He has.
Making the jump. Nice jump. That is a tricky jump to pull off. Yeah, I'm not even sure where Xarnax needs to go. Oh, well, he hasn't been this way yet, so...
Yep, this is
Barba could be...
promising. We might see a Barba. No, we don't.
Not yet.
This encounter is just going to be a pass-through, so Barbara may be on the other side. And again, misjudging for the quick kill.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna take a big chunk out of his health. Koolandthegank struggling to find that second item on Maze Island, but he really does need to find it since it's guarding the reflect spell. I'm not sure I remember where that second item is on Maze Island.
And there is Barba on the other side.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he doesn't take 1,000 hits. Barba's already starting with low health. Oh, and he was going for the... Oh. Ouch.
Oh, and a costly game over.
Ouch.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of those costly game overs.
Yeah, game overing is to be expected, but they have been at bad times for these racers.
Yeah, Xarnax doing a lot of risky attacks on bosses, things like that. Because when you're down to your last life on Barba, it's pretty easy to avoid his attack, and you just can hang out and kill him slowly, and then know you're gonna. It's gonna be less time than going back through the whole dungeon.
It depends on what you practice. You know, if jackhammer is the way you've always done it, then doing it the other way is probably going to be more difficult.
That's true. You might not have a handle on defense if you haven't practiced it that way.
And there we see Koolandthegank finding the kid. Very good at hide and seek. So I think we'll see him probably go back and find the reflect spell, and then at that point it's just a race to the gems. Koolandthegank still with a slight lead in that department, but not for long. Looks like Xarnax not quite remembering the path to get to Barba there. He has to go through that room with the two platforms that he lands on.
Ouch!
And
he's
already down to his last life.
Wow. It's making that game over at Barba seem even more costly.
Alright, I think he's pretty close. He needs to fall down this this pit here, the Canadian hole, as we call it. And then he'll be just about where he needs to be. Alright, he's found it.
A Canadian hole. Why is it called the Canadian hole?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's called the Canadian Hole because last year we had a Zelda 2 speedrunning tournament, and there are quite a few Canadian players, and every single one of them, well, not every single one, a large portion of them would fall in that hole. And in the speedrun, that costs you about a minute, so it's not a trivial amount of time that you lose falling through that hole. So it was renamed the Canadian Hole in their honor, or just dishonor, depending on how you look at it. And Xarnax taking the safer strat this time around and clearing out Barba.
Well, that was good with Barba there. I didn't even realize that you could upstab Barba's chin that way.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous, especially if you miss. You'll fly right over him. So.
Can you do that
yeah, definitely.
if you don't have jump casted?
You can't. Actually, can you? That's a great question. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% confident that you can.
I've never even tried. I play it safe against Barba.
It's a little risky. It's maybe not jackhammer risky, but it's definitely a little risky.
Yeah, just to throw up your jump timing, it's very easy to catch a fireball and get knocked back into that pit.
Yeah, absolutely. So Koolandthegank, I think, is absolutely looking for Darunia. It's just north of where he is, I believe? Or east, maybe? He's close. And it's absolutely the right thing for him to be doing right now.
Yep.
Xarnax, meanwhile, probably looking for Palace 3, I would imagine. I don't think Koolandthegank went quite far enough to... we do have confirmation from Error saying you can upstab Barba without using jump. I was aware of the fireball strat that Error is also talking about, where if you get on the very, very edge of the platform, he actually won't shoot lava at you at all. You got to get right up to the edge.
The edge that's close to him, or far away from him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to be standing like directly underneath him, basically, and he won't shoot fireballs at you.
He won't even open his mouth.
He opens his mouth, and I think it even makes the sound effect, but just nothing comes out.
Apparently, I don't know anything about Barba.
There's a lot of little things like that to learn about this game. That's part of the reason I love it so darn much. I mean, with as well as I've gotten to know this game over the past year, there's still a lot of cool stuff for me to learn. Alright, here we go. Koolandthegank finding Darunia, gonna pick up that Reflect spell, and now the race is truly on. Both racers have everything they need. In fact, they will have the exact same items and spells in just a minute. The only difference being that Xarnax has completed Palace 6, and Koolandthegank has completed Palace 3. That's actually a nice advantage for Xarnax, since 3 is much shorter than Palace 6.
And it looks like Xarnax almost going back into Palace 2 thinking that it was 3, and then realizes it and turns around.
Yeah, I think he was actually in Palace 3 earlier and didn't go in because he thought it was Palace 2, so he'll be heading back there now. Let's see what Koolandthegank does. I mean, honestly, if I were him, I'd just hop in the first palace that I see. No need to be picky about it at this point, although he probably has not found Palace 6 yet. It's kind of out of the way. Looks like he might be heading back to Maze Island to do Palace 4, since he got that Reflect spell. Well, I'm not sure what his plan is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. He's definitely not heading towards Maze Island.
He's about to find Palace 6, though, if he keeps going this way.
Oh, that's what he is going to do. No?
Yeah, he turned around just a little bit too... now he's going back. There he sees it. That is a cool little palace. I like it when the randomizer does stuff like that.
Okay.
I believe we got ourselves a close race here. It really depends on how fast these players can get through these remaining palaces.
Yeah, I'd like to see them both place the gem at the same time. Then we would be tied.
I don't think that's going to happen just based on how confusing Palace 6
gets. Yes, definitely. It definitely won't happen. I would just like to see that. But Xarnax is... yeah, I'd almost guarantee that he's going to clear this pretty quickly and be on his way.
Cool will definitely have an easier time than Xarnax did with attack 7. Although it looks like, yeah, one of those dragon heads.
And not enough to cast Fairy.
Those oh, and he does it again. I'd probably just obey at that point.
Wow.
That screen has to be one of the worst, I think, in the entire game.
Yeah, I'm always... I have that locked in the back of my mind. When I enter that screen and I'm going across it, I know I'm waiting for that dragon head to come across. But when I see it, I stop in my tracks and I kill it just so that I don't get knocked in.
Yeah. That room and the lava room in Palace 5 are probably the two most annoying rooms in the game to navigate.
Yep, definitely.
Which neither of these racers has gone into Palace 5 yet.
That's the way I do it right there. Because those dragon heads will not respawn once you kill them. As long as you keep going that same direction. I'm sure if you backtrack, they probably pop back up.
Yeah, they will respawn if you go backwards. Absolutely.
And Xarnax in the same type of room. And he finds the item in 3. Might actually,
so we're gonna find out what
go
this
and get
is,
it.
Yeah.
It's probably a heart container.
That seems likely. Could be the horn or the cross.
Magic.
Magic container.
And we'll see how long it takes Gank to figure out the barber location, because it is a little bit twisty-turny.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And
I think
he's in the item room right now. I don't remember seeing Xarnax in the item room.
I think Xarnax did get the item. Was it a? It wasn't a heart container, was it? No, I don't. No, it's another magic container. Yeah.
Okay. More magic.
And here we go, Xarnax finding Rebenak. I wonder what his leveling strategy is going to be for the rest of the game. He could still try to go for attack 7 if he wanted to. It would be a little tricky, I think, with his current levels, but he could try.
Yeah.
Looks like he is going to go back and grind a bit.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going to level up the way that the game intended, as far as just taking them as they come.
fighting Thunderbird with attack 5 is really not a pleasant experience.
I can't say that I've ever done it.
I think the lowest I've ever done it is maybe 4, and it took a really long time, and I died a lot.
Yeah.
So I do not recommend it. There are people who do the attack 1 challenge. I think they're crazy, but
See, yeah, that would take you all day to take out Thunderbird.
yeah, it sure would.
Yeah, I don't think I've done it with any less than 6.
6 isn't too bad, but you definitely notice the difference.
Yeah, the difference between 8 and 7, I think, is only 3 hits, because I think it's 8 with 8 and 11 with 7. 6, probably not that many more.
Looks like Xarnax is going to grind on those dog heads for a bit. There were 10. That's not too bad. Well, no, maybe not. Stand corrected.
Well, it would take a minute, but that seems to be his best option. Because they spawn so rapidly.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to set that up. Koolandthegank, meanwhile, is taking all the wrong paths in Palace 6, unfortunately. The 1-3-1 challenge is a thing, Ring Bear, but I mean you can make whatever challenge you want in this game. That's the beauty of it.
1-3-1, is that the lowest required magic level to be able to cast Thunder?
Yes, I believe so. Well, actually, I mean, you can cast Thunder at Magic 1 with all 8 magic containers.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure why 3 is the requirement, to be perfectly honest with you. Koolandthegank getting a little turned around here. I think he needs to go to the right and then up the elevator and then to the left, if I'm remembering the route properly. So keep going right until you get to an elevator, then go up and then go left, and then fall down the hole. Oh, 3 is the minimum because you can't make it to place the gem before the level up happens. You don't have enough time to place the gem and level up before the level up happens. That's why it's 1-3-1. Interesting. Alright, Koolandthegank heading the right way now. I think he's gonna find the Canadian hole in the next room here? Yeah. Is he gonna jump over it? He is not.
Try to.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a serious attempt or not.
It seemed like he only tapped it. Not a full jump.
Taking a death there. Xarnax did complete 3, yes, I just forgot to mark it, thank you. Xarnax is 1 gem up. I'm not sure what Xarnax is looking for. He just needs to go do 4 and 5. He has no business being on this continent whatsoever.
No, definitely not. And Koolandthegank going across the ferry spot there. He's just gonna find himself a little bit more or nothing. So he's losing a lot of time here, a lot of ground.
I think this loops actually. If he keeps going, he'll find this room, which is gonna loop him back. He is not gonna be happy about that.
Yeah, he does have enough to cast ferry though. Oh wait, no, I thought that was the falling loop. My mistake.
Yeah, he's been here before. He's not that far behind where he needs to be. I think he's just gonna go right back where he was.
Yep, he's just doing a similar path that as Xarnax did.
I'm not sure what Xarnax is doing right now. Chat thinks maybe Death Mountain. I'm not sure why Death Mountain. He jumps over the pit this time. Koolandthegank does. Unfortunately for him, this is not going to take him to the right place. He's going to loop back. Oh, it's actually an infinite loop.
It is, yes.
That's right. We saw this earlier, yeah.
Why Death Mountain?
I don't know. I mean, he found the rock earlier, so maybe he wants the heart container that might be in there, or... I mean, it could be the medicine, for all we know. We don't really know for certain. We're about to find out.
Put my money on medicine.
And there it is, the medicine. So he can go get the spell if he wants to.
It all just seems very needless, though.
Well, Koolandthegank scared me. I thought he was going to jump in the pit again for a second, but he's on the right path now. He's got to take out this Rebenak, and then Barba's on the very next screen. The bad news is I think this is his last life. It is. It's his last life, so he needs to be a little careful here. Doesn't quite get the proper... still manages to...
Oh, ouch.
Taking some damage.
I don't understand how he...
There he goes.
How he fell out of that downstab block there.
You know, you can actually just get right back on that horse, too. And start bouncing on his head again. If you fall off.
Yeah.
And here's Barba. He casts jump.
Hopefully we don't see another game over at Barba.
Let's see.
With attacks...
Not doing the jack.
Yeah, with attack 7 too, and Barba's low hit points, probably only takes 5 hits.
Definitely not trying the jackhammer.
Good idea to play this safe.
And there he goes. So we are at a tie race. Literally exactly tied. Well, I guess Xarnax has the medicine. But besides that, still call that a tie for all intents and purposes.
Wow.
He really wants that spell. And he's going to get it. Mido, I don't remember where Mido was. Koolandthegank looks like he's on his way to Palace 4.
See, Mido was an early find.
There it is. So Xarnax had the lead. Was cruising through Palace. He finished up Palace 3. Had the lead by at least a few minutes, and now I think I would give the edge to Koolandthegank since he's closer to the palaces that are left to complete.
Yes, I'm very curious of the reasoning to go back into Death Mountain and then spend all this time looking for the spell. There's just I don't see any real advantage.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him about it after the race and see what he was thinking. All right, and here we go into Palace 4. So Xarnax, I think, is now content and is going to start heading back to the eastern continent. Let's see if he chooses 4 or 5. Looks like he's headed to 5. Wonder if he's trying to do a little bit of grinding, or yeah, it looks like he might be trying.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have any reason to go after those Tektites.
Not gonna grind that Scorpion though, that's for sure.
Kill these. Yeah, that's the way to grind right there. That's 600 per encounter.
Yeah, that's a pretty good haul. He can get his attack levels up pretty quickly if he keeps doing that. And looks like he is gonna head into 5. Oh, Koolandthegank just barely making that jump.
Yeah, one of those tricky jumps in this game. Only a few of them, and they're all the exact same distance.
He's found Karak.
Wow. Pretty quick.
Yeah, not a bad Palace 4. And so with this gem, I expect him to boost his magic and life levels. And all he's got left is Palace 5. Oh.
Palace 5 with a very similar color scheme.
A little tricky for him to get there from where he is. He kind of has to go all the way back around the way he came, unfortunately.
Finally, attack 6 for Xarnax.
Oh! Was that an attack 9 that we just saw on Koolandthegank's stream? I think it was.
Yes, that definitely was, and that is
very unfortunate.
Yeah, that is bad.
Every Zelda 2 player has done that at some point. Not a good time for that to happen. That attack 9 gets. I'm sure chat will get a kick out of it, though.
Getting attack 9, it does give you a 1-up, an extra life. However, you lose about 9,000 experience points that could be well spent in getting your magic and life up to. Probably could have gotten to 876 most likely, but.
Well, the good news is he still does have 1 gem left, so he can use that gem to boost his magic and life, and I don't think he'll be in that bad shape. Especially, yeah, and Faro was pointing out too, I don't know what his magic costs are for like Thunder, but if Thunder is low, you might just dump it all into life and call Magic 4 good.
Yeah, especially with all the magic containers that are available in this seed, that's not a bad strategy.
Alright, and we see him heading into Palace 5. Xarnax has already been in here for a good few minutes. And has actually found the item. Hopefully it's not the cross or the horn. Hopefully it's something more useful like a heart container would be very good. Oh, but it is the horn. Completely useless.
I have thought, horn, you know, it's an item. Sometimes you need it, but a lot of the times you just don't. And we know for a fact in this seed, you don't.
Oh, those bubbles just taking a big chunk out of Koolandthegank. Needs more cross, we hear from the chat. Where could the cross be? It could be on Death Mountain. Could be in Palace 4? Did we find the item in 4? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
It could be.
Did not find it in 4.
Could be Spell Blocked and New Kasuto. We don't know what that item is.
I was thinking we were going to find out with all the time, all the time that Xarnax spent going back for that spell.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Palace 5 is the largest palace besides Great Palace. You can see that these runners have not found anything particularly interesting yet. But they're looking for Guma. Xarnax finding a dead end. Are they in the same area? No, I guess not.
Yeah, Palace 5, one of the more difficult ones. Just so easy to get lost with all your palace rooms scrambled up in the randomizer.
Alright, Koolandthegank getting a bonus life level there, so that'll help make up for his attack 9 from earlier.
Xarnax reaching a dead end here.
Yep. I think Koolandthegank is, yeah, he's found the item, and he's going to take it. Probably hoping it's a heart container, but going to be disappointed.
Our runners are taking very similar paths. They took the same route in 6, and it looks like they're taking the same route in 5.
We have not found Hammer Cave, so whatever is in Hammer Cave will remain a mystery. Probably a heart container.
Yep, definitely a heart container. And again, Xarnax really has it out for those blue iron knuckles.
He's on a mission. Can't say I blame him. If I never saw any of those blue iron knuckles, I would not be unhappy.
That might be yeah, I don't know. If you make a commitment, you're like, I just really don't like those guys, so anytime I see one, I'm gonna kill it.
I gotta say, I'm lost in this palace. I'm trying to follow where these guys are at. I have no idea. It's gonna be a surprise.
No, not
when one of
easy.
them
Not
shows
easy
up.
to do when you're running through it by yourself. But when you're watching two runners at the same time, yeah. It takes some kind of supercomputer to follow both of them.
I think they might be close to the same place. Not really sure.
If they were, they're running off in opposite directions, anyways.
And so here's that room in Palace 5 that I hate.
It's quite treacherous.
The lava. These spawns aren't the worst spawns to have. Those little fish heads are
Yes.
absolutely brutal in this room.
Yes, oh, there they come
there they
halfway
are.
through. Yes, the Bagos are not fun. Oh, we have Goomba.
That's right.
It looks
Koolandthegank finding a dead end.
Looks like he doesn't have a ton of hit points. Interesting. Another Xarnax has some.
Jump is actually a great strat on Goomba. It looked like he almost got in that hitbox and downstabbed him, which is a nice but dangerous strat to use on Goomba.
What seems to be Xarnax's MO as far as boss fighting.
Well, he's
Fast and
probably
reckless.
more used to the speedrunning strats, which are just like, screw everything, I'm going as fast as possible. So
yeah, he plays the bosses the opposite way that I do.
So Xarnax needs to finish out Palace 4, which remember was actually a pretty quick one.
Yeah, I think he was only in there for Gank was only in there just for a couple minutes before he found him.
So I'd say this is still a pretty close race, depending on how fast Gank finds Goomba here in Palace 5. Certainly a difference of no more than a few minutes at the most. Xarnax with the horn actually could get up to Palace 4 a lot faster by going through the River Devil, I believe. I'm not sure if that's where he's headed or what his plan is.
He might be looking for New Kasuto.
I was thinking about that as well. He did duck into that town, so he might be looking for New Kasuto.
Oh, ouch! And that's why that room is dangerous. If you're not careful, that downstab can be deadly.
Almost taking another one, gets the fairy save, so.
Oh. Yes, he finally got that one. We saw twice earlier him failing and turning into a fairy as he was drowning, but able to get it there. And we find the boss.
And now finding Goomba. So Koolandthegank will be the first player in Valley of Death in Palace 7.
Shouldn't have any problem with Goomba here with how low his hit points are. Yeah, only took about 6 hits.
I agree with Chad on that one. If you have the fairy spell in that room, you might as well just cast it and take the danger out of the picture. Xarnax is looking for that spell, or is he? Nope. Heading to Palace 4.
Well, from the way our runners have been tackling dungeons, I believe he's going to take a very similar route and find Karok rather quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Should not take him too much time.
Yeah, I remember that was a
Koolandthegank.
dead end, and then this kind of forces you just to go straight to Karok.
Yeah, he'll find him pretty quickly. Trying to get the fairy feet, not working out for him, so he just gives up and ferries across. Honestly, that's what I usually do as well. I know fairy feet would save you a few seconds per encounter, but I'm not good enough at it to justify trying to use it.
All right, and
But here we go.
yes, almost coming up on 2 hours, and we see the Great Palace. Yeah, I like Fairy Feet, but I'm almost convinced that it's somewhat random. At least
Random.
your threshold for popping off the side of the screen, it doesn't seem to be consistent to me. Like sometimes you only have one frame to do it, and other times it seems like it gives you a handful.
Well, it's definitely different on the left side than it is on the right-hand side, I think.
I think it also might have something to do with elevation and whether you're taking damage too, but that might all be in my head.
Being told that it's pixel perfect, I would believe that. The pixel that you need is different on each side, I think. That's just speculation. Cannot say that as a definitive fact. So it looks like you have to go left through this fairy room here, which is can be pretty tricky depending on what enemy spawns there.
All right, and we have Karok.
Yep. So quick Palace 4 as expected, and this is a race, ladies and gentlemen. There he goes. I wonder if we're going to see Xarnax grind here. I kind of suspect not. So that'll put him at life 8. I think it'll be 6, 7, 8. Is that right? And we see 8, 5, 6 over on Koolandthegank's side, which is a little lower than you would like, but not terrible.
As long as you can cast Thunder, I think you can get by there. Attack 8 being the key number.
Yeah, you can see how much damage those Bird Knights do with life 6, though. They do a lot of damage with life 8, even. I think they do a full box at life 8, so... Man, we see that room looping back to itself. I always enjoy it when that happens.
Well, the seat I had before this did the same thing.
And did he die just before falling?
Yep,
there?
but it looked like he got hit by a fireball. It looked like he was 1 or 2 frames away from surviving by dropping down, but then no
so
such
this is
luck.
his last life. He's only got 5 heart containers as well, which is just makes his life 6 even a bit more precarious.
Ooh, ouch.
Taking a Buzz Thunder there from the King bot.
And another one.
The double Buzz Thunder. Meanwhile, Xarnax, we see, is right behind him, hot on his heels, so
Okay.
this is anybody's race at this point.
Yep, Xarnax enters, I'm going to say about about 4 minutes after Gank got in, so we are neck and neck. The 4 minutes that he spent looking for the spell didn't even go and cash it in.
Yeah, he didn't even find it. Spell is useful for combat by turning things into bots, but it does not turn bird knights into bots. So
I would say, but he also went back into Death Mountain
that's
to
true.
find that as well. So that's even more time.
You also have to remember that he lost about 7.5 minutes at the beginning due to his little glitch. So
that's correct. Yes, is NES.
With that in mind, he's played very well, and certainly the tables could have been reversed here had that little glitch not happened.
Oh, ouch.
A lava bath for Xarnax, and we have a Thunderbird. On Koolandthegank's side, this is his last life, so needs to hope this fight goes well.
He can't cast Thunder.
Oh no! Oh no! That is another costly game over.
Well, no question who has the lead now.
And just like that, all the time that Koolandthegank had on Xarnax.
Yeah, the only advantage would be that if Kool really, if he's taking notes or knows exactly which routes he's taken, knows how to get back to Thunderbird without having to turn around. But again, I say the way our runners have been tackling dungeons, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're going to take pretty close to the same route here. I think that's pretty typical for a Great Palace to use the always go right strat. So, oop.
Nice fairy save. Yes, generally it's the always go right, but sometimes if I run into too many dead ends like that, which again we see Koolandthegank run into a dead end there, so we do know that he doesn't remember exactly where Thunderbird is. If I'll run into a dead end like that and see, I know I have to take a left turn, sometimes I'll just go that way instead of doing the always right.
That wasn't a time-consuming mistake there, though. Xarnax, meanwhile, is just getting lit up by this spicy chicken.
Yeah, not a time-consuming to backtrack a little bit, but it just kind of show you that you might have to do it, kind of start from scratch. Now I don't remember this. I don't remember Kool doing this room, so we might have a different path.
I believe so. It is possible that there are two ways to get to Thunderbird. That is not out of the question, but I don't think we've seen this specific route before.
The upstab required route.
Xarnax finding a dead end, a 1-up. Almost wonder if it would be worth it to up A from there instead of backtracking. I'm not sure how much he has to backtrack to get to another choice.
We see Gank coming back through that hole in the floor, so we know Thunderbird is close by.
Yeah, I think he's still a few rooms away, but pretty close.
Ouch! And Buzz thundered to death there. Did not learn from his mistakes.
That's the third time.
Let's see if he gets the fourth one here, because he's got another
Yeah,
opportunity.
He was ready for him. Ready for him that time too.
Yeah, I don't think it counts if you split him up and then get hit by the.
No, that does not count.
Yeah.
As a Buzz Thunder. And I think Xarnax is also headed in the right direction now. He needs to go down this pit.
Yes, so now he will get looped back around, and then our runners are very close now.
They are. They're only a handful of rooms apart. I don't know what Xarnax's live situation is like, but his health is pretty low. Koolandthegank is down at least one life that I know of.
Yes, he has one extra life.
Xarnax did pick up that one up, so he's probably okay in the lives department. Here comes Xarnax, and oh, the lightning quick reflexes on that King bot. And the second one actually
Didn't get a spawn.
Despawned.
Probably because he destroyed the other one.
Yeah, I feel robbed, personally. And here's Koolandthegank back at Thunderbird. Xarnax is really not that far behind.
He is going to have to take another death because he still can't cast Thunder.
So he'll be on his last life. He really needs to beat Thunderbird. And we also don't know, where Darklink is after this is over. Great time for Xarnax to get a red jar refill there.
Yep, he's in the same life situation that that Cool was coming in as well.
I think he might only be a room or two behind.
Yep, Cool really needs to survive this Thunderbird fight if he wants to stay in the race.
So far, oh. I think he can only take one more hit. And Thunderbird is almost down.
And he got him.
Wow, nice fight. Now we just need to hope that Darklink isn't too far away. Because Xarnax is hot on his heels. You're always hoping for that instant Darklink. Didn't get it there. Xarnax approaching Thunderbird. I don't think he's going to be able to cast Thunder here.
Nope, he will be forced down to his last life as well.
But this is a close race. These runners are maybe a minute apart.
Very close. Let's see if Xarnax can catch up a little time, especially with his risky boss strategies.
Oh wow, and Koolandthegank's in a really bad spot.
Oh,
here. And takes the game over. Gonna have to go through one more time.
Looks like Xarnax...
Try to hang on to those lives.
Yep, looks like Xarnax is going to play it safe here on Thunderbird, since he is down to his last life as well.
I think that is a very wise choice. He also has life 8, so he can afford to take a few more hits, although you still don't want to take a bunch of damage.
Yeah, ouch. Ouch.
Oh no!
Can cast... No, he can't cast life. Life's too expensive. One more hit on Thunderbird. Oh, 2 more.
Oh, and he gets it. Wow. But he is also in a very, very bad position.
Yeah. I mean,
still a few rooms left, and
yeah, I'd almost say just up A from here, just because I know where his opponent is, but not in his mind. He can't do that.
No, absolutely not. And you don't know where Darklink's going to be. If he's in the very next room, you don't want to up A at this point, but
this is a tricky room right here.
This is an exciting race right here.
You can't cast life, so got a little bit of insurance.
What did he cast? Jump?
Life.
Oh my gosh! Oh, he did cast life. I see. He got a blue jar from the bot.
Yep.
Oh
and
wow!
There's
Look
Darklink.
at that!
Wow.
Koolandthegank was half a screen away. Half a screen away from Darklink. Actually killed Thunderbird first.
Well, let's see if Darklink doesn't make life difficult for Xarnax.
What an ending! This has been another fantastic ending to a race.
Yeah, it seems. Yeah, well, there it is. Official time.
Koolandthegank probably doesn't think it's fantastic, but wow, that blue jar saved him. I think. Well, no, he still has quite a bit of life.
Yeah,
left.
I don't think he took any
through.
damage after he casted that, but just the confidence of knowing you can take a hit sometimes is more than enough.
Great race by both of these runners, absolutely.
Yeah, towards the end there, it looks like we had a little bit of a lead swapping over and over again. It got very tight, and then Xarnax is able to come up on top. And that's another Buzz Thunder there for Koolandthegank.
Got a time of 2 hours and 13 minutes. It's a great time for this race. Overall, not a super tricky seed.
Nope, just a lot of costly game overs, especially for Xarnax. There, the NES glitch in the beginning, and needless exploration diving back into Death Mountain, and getting the spell, looking for Mido after that. So, yeah, those are my main concerns because I think he could have shaved off 20 minutes off of that time easily.
Let's see if we can get Xarnax in here to chat with us about this and get his feelings on the race. Hopefully he's on his way. Here. That was not Xarnax, that was somebody else.
A Xarnax imposter.
Like one of those guys who runs out on the field in the middle of a football game. I agree, Spiffy. That is what makes Randomizer awesome. You just you don't know really what you get until you start playing through. And there he is. Hey, Xarnax.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Yes, Xarnax, well done. Very well done.
I was not expecting a win.
Yeah, well, you had that hiccup there at the beginning with your NES.
Yeah,
that cost you about
some very
7 minutes. I think.
Very interesting glitches that we saw there coming from your stream.
No, you can't beat hardware.
Yeah, I've seen your NES do that before, so I was not too terribly surprised, but it was an unfortunate time.
Yeah, it's done a lot of weird things. I'm just glad that I was able to fix it as quick as I did, and it didn't mess up again.
So walk us through that one. It seemed like you got off to a pretty quick start, and then in the middle kind of stalled out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, this is my second race with the randomized map, and like there are a few things that I'm still learning, or you just don't know, and I don't know how much that played into. Like the big thing was this is actually a tiny thing, but it's the thing that sticks out the most to me is just like I don't understand why certain enemies, like, they're basically two different versions of them. So you get like...
Oh, I see.
So you get different amounts of experience.
Yeah, that's right, and that has to do with the way the palaces are broken up usually.
Okay.
Yeah. We did notice you had a few costly game overs. There was one on Barba.
Like all of my game overs, I was a kill away from the next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Koolandthegank, who just finished, by the way, it was a very close race.
Yeah, wow.
He killed Thunderbird before you did, and then died, game overed in the room right before darkness. So,
I thought I was going to, and then I got that blue jar drop, which was enough to...
Yeah, we saw that blue jar grab. That was excellent timing for that.
Yes.
Yeah, we were able to cast a life spell, but I don't think you took any damage after that anyway, so didn't really need it.
That's true.
Yep. Yeah, we also chat wants me to ask you if you have some sort of personal vendetta against Blue Iron Knuckles. It seems like you killed them at every opportunity.
Well, so the some of them gave 300 experience, and some of them gave 150.
Oh yeah.
And like the ones that were 300 were worth the time, I thought. And then I started getting confused on, which ones were worth killing, and so I just killed them all.
Yeah, so 1, 2, and 5 are in the same block. So if you see a Blue Iron Knuckle in 1, 2, and 5, they'll be the same. And then 3, 4, and 6 are the other block.
Very interesting. Oh, also,
yeah.
Before I forget, that was the ugliest Great Palace I have ever seen.
You didn't like that one, huh?
No. Man, those tiles on the background were like costly in that Thunderbird fight.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the background can get a little garish sometimes. I agree. I think I might actually need to tweak that in the future to tone it down a bit. Yeah. Trying to think of what else.
I wanted to ask about towards the end there. You seemed to have everything that you needed to get through the game, but you did go back into Death Mountain looking for an item there, and then after you found the medicine, went to look for the spell, which wasn't really necessary. I just didn't know.
Right.
I was curious for your reasoning behind that.
I had a couple reasons. One was I saw the river demon on the other continent, and I hadn't seen Palace 7 yet, so in my mind I was thinking the flute might still be required.
Okay.
And not only the other thing was like the several deaths I had at the end of levels. Like I was willing to take a little extra time to get a couple more hearts.
Yeah.
Then by the time I got the spell, I couldn't remember where Spell Town New Kasuto was. And then by the time I was over at the other I'm sure you saw me farming that one spot where the blue Lizalfos were like half on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great farming location right there.
Yeah, if I had found that earlier, that would have been a completely different race. But
yeah.
That
was something else I wanted to do.
Once I found that, I was not worried about finding hearts so much.
That's actually something else I wanted to ask you about was your leveling strat. You ended with, I think, attack 6, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just a little curious. You definitely prioritize your life levels, which is not a bad strategy at all. But most players would like to beef up their attack a bit more. So
it really depends on how I'm feeling and how I'm playing. Like I was dying so much. Like I typically on a randomizer, I just take every level that I get. And I usually end up. Usually end up 666, and then a couple levels on one stat or another.
Yeah. Well, I think Life 8 is ultimately what saved you in Great Palace, because Koolandthegank only had Life 6 and took a couple costly game overs there right at the end, which unfortunately.
Yeah, my Great Palace was pretty smooth. I got fortunate that there weren't a lot of Bluebird Knights getting in the way.
Yeah. So looking at the bracket here, your next opponent is going to be the winner of the match featuring Unos and Dark Magician.
Oh, they're scrubs.
So Dark Magician already having won his match against V. Resner, which was a fantastic race.
Oh man, I did. I watched the end of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great race to watch. This was also, I think, a fantastic race to watch. Came right down to the wire.
Nice.
So
good.
I think that'll be you, and whoever wins that race will also be fantastic. And yeah, Koolandthegank is gonna be. Who will he be facing next? He'll be facing the Countess down in the losers bracket.
Oh.
So, you got any other questions for Xarnax, Buzz?
No, we covered it.
All right. Well, congratulations again on the win, Xarnax.
Thanks for that. Looking forward to man. These randomizer tournaments have been a lot of fun. Glad people are throwing them together, and glad I've got a chance to participate.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to seeing you in the next round.
All right. Thanks for that.
All right. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So before we sign off here, I'll take a minute just to give you an idea of what's coming up. It looks like we don't have any races scheduled for tomorrow, but we do have a couple scheduled for Thursday. We have Error72 and Cashline scheduled for 7 o'clock p.m. on Thursday. And then we have Angry Larry and DH2284 coming up at 10 o'clock on Thursday, which will more than likely be streamed right here with me and Buzz Thunder doing the commentary. So I think that's going to do it for us. You got anything left, Buzz?
No, yeah, hell of a race. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me on commentary.
Yes, I wouldn't miss it.
Great race, and hopefully I will see all of you back here on Thursday night for some more great Zelda 2 Randomizer.
All right, thanks for
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.